There's a thing that we really need to talk about right now with regards to a shifting market. And in a shifting market, the person that communicates the best is the one that eventually stands out from the crowd. Now, what do I mean by persistence in communication? Well, if you have something good to talk about, you're going to want to go talk about it. Competency leads to confidence, which means you're going to want to have more conversations, which leads to conversion. So let's look at this from the perspective of interest rates. We're all talking about housing affordability going down, interest rates rising, inflation, several other components to the real estate housing market that have led a lot of people to say, man, I don't know, I'm just going to probably take a step back. I really don't know what's going on. And then we're getting the question that we always get, which is, how's the market? And how many of you are saying, it's great? Or, I'm running around and I can't find any houses for my buyers to buy. Or, well, I think it's kind of slowing down. Or, those are all the worst answers that you could possibly give because you don't have any substantive content to give them on the other side. Let's look at what really drives the real estate market. And let's look at the underlying factors that are contributing to people's fear from headlines as opposed to their actual needs and wants. What's our first directive as realtors and as professional licensed real estate salespeople? It's to protect the public. It's to contribute to our clients in a meaningful and substantive way and help them be guided into making good decisions. Let's talk about the Federal Reserve because everybody just wants to talk about the Federal Reserve for a little bit. So the Fed funds rate. If you know what the Fed funds rate is and what the current number is right now, please raise your hand. What was it a year ago? I'll tell you right now, it's 1.75. It was 1.15 a month and a half ago, and it was 0.25 a year ago. What's the Fed's funds rate? It's tied to short-term debt, which essentially means short-term interest rates that determine what banks can lend to one another. So the Fed funds rate is a small indicator, not a direct indicator to the real estate housing market. It's also a bigger barometer of what's going on in the economy at large. Let's look at the 10-year Treasury bill. Anybody know what the 10-year Treasury bill is? 2.85. What's the 10-year Treasury bill? Well, that's the return, the percentage return that you get on a 10-year note from the US government in terms of buying a Treasury bill, a note. And in 10 years' time, you shall receive 2.85% interest year on year. What does that have to do with the housing market? Well, the housing market shows up as a lagging indicator 6 to 12 months after the Fed makes decisions. We're talking about big moves in the market that happen short term. Think stock markets, bond markets, commodity markets. Do you think that our clients that are buying and selling houses right now are invested in those markets? Maybe heavily. Think about your 401k. Think about our clients' 401ks. How do we become better real estate agents? We become more understanding of what is happening in the marketplace. The Federal Reserve has two directives, and it is full employment and stability in prices across markets. That's it. That's all they have, price stability. And how do they do that? They ramp up interest rates and they pull it back. So right now where we are is we are quite literally bouncing around in the tidal pool of the Fed trying to pull the purse strings in order to stifle spending I'm going to say that again, in order to stifle spending, to decrease demand for goods and services, in order to normalize the economy. Normalize the economy. That's what I'm going to emphatically say. Normalize the economy. This is a game of trial and error. And I want to underscore the fact that us knowing this, that it's not a very easy game to play. If you have clients that are on the fence because, I really don't know if now is the right time. I'm thinking that interest rates are going to fall down. Well, hey, they were at 5.36 the other day. Now a 30-year fixed is up to 6. And it's bouncing above that probably by the end of the day, especially because the stock market, as of right now, just lost 500 points in the first hour and a half of trading. This kind of stuff matters, y'all. And the reason why I'm putting this message out to you is to underscore the fact that we are in a time where communication is not just a key, it's the only tool we have. And in order to communicate effectively, we are going to be in the best position to best represent and best negotiate on behalf of our clients, best inform, educate, and guide our clients into good decisions, and then ultimately be able to be the person that guy or gal turns around and says, man, you guys are thinking about selling your house? Whew. Boy, you got to call so-and-so over at Sedan Joiner, because he or she, they really know what's going on in the marketplace, what's going on in the world, and how that relates to making good decisions, buying or selling or investing in real estate. The long story short here is that be informed. Back when I was producing, I used to look at, and I still do, I haven't changed. My habits are good habits. You are what you repeatedly do. Every single Monday, I pull up a report on the MLS. What happened this month? What happened this week versus last week? What's new? I look at the hot sheets every single day, and I don't just look at them and go, ooh, that's a cool front porch. Oh, that's a nice front door. Oh, that's interesting. Why did they put the garage there? I look at it for the numbers and how to figure out where we are versus where we could be possibly going, tying it to historical averages, 30, 60, 90, 120 days, even a year. Make yourself committed to being consistent at studying the marketplace inside and outside of just what happens in the MLS for the next 30, 60, 90 days. I promise you, you're going to see positive results. And I promise you, you're going to have more people coming up to you and saying, hey, so-and-so said that I needed to talk to you because you knew what was going on and you could probably help me sell my house or help me buy a house, help me find a house. I need to get in a rental property, et cetera, et cetera. Do more learning and you have more competence, which means that you'll have more confidence to be able to go out and have good conversations with people and convert more at the end of the day. And winning is what it's all about for you.